yeah, definitely kind of a win this right now kind of moment for Percival. Let's see what we can do. See what he comes up with, because he might just get a little bit tricksy in this matchup. He's got to know he's a bit of an underdog. Reynor has been playing amazing lately. Let's see what happens. Is in the bottom right, our blue Terran player is Percival. Like I say, maybe some cheeky kind of builds or so to try and give him a bit of an edge. Maybe a possibility, maybe something we can kind of look towards a little bit. Top left-hand side, our red Zerg player. This is going to be Reynor. Game 1 of the BO3 as we set up and go, go, go. Let's have a peek around, see where we're going. Hatchery down on that natural expansion. Nothing really too wild, not really expecting around to do anything super crazy early. Obviously it is low ground barracks. And we're going to see some Reaper production coming up. Kind of interesting though, second barracks. Yeah, so just Reaper production, 2 extra, but never mind. Not kind of interesting. I just fooled myself. I read the production tab wrong somehow. So don't mind me. I'm just being a little silly. Yeah, very normal stuff. T-Rex Reaper is absolutely something we see all the time, and the command center can come down behind it, of course, over the next few moments as well. Getting that ready to roll. Couple Reapers then on the way through. Queens and the Lings in production right now, so bringing all of that up and running. Reaper heads around the left side. Hatchery going to come into position. Then we take a few more moments as those Queens continue by, overloading the drones, building up as well. So a lot of just little bits and pieces coming through for now, as we just have the Reaper going to fight. A couple of Zerglings start to take some damage, and we do have those Lings taking a few shots for the moment. So a little hit or two coming by. The Reaper's coming over, and the Queen going to get hit as well. Grenade's going to threaten toward that Queen for a few moments. So a little bit of damage potentially coming out just for now. Two command centers still producing through. Reactor in the tech lab coming online. Again, the Ling speed and the Lings all building up as well. So you got a lot of that on the way. The Reaper's going to hop back up towards the top. Head in toward the natural. Spore Crawler going to cut place. A couple of spores coming through. The Queens are going to be right there. Push the Reapers back the other direction. The Queens will still pull back towards the natural as well. Engineering base and the command center is coming online. The SCV and the Marine will be in that production tab as well. So again, just a bit of everything coming through for the moment. Link speed still building. You just got a lot of this coming straight on in. Reaper's pulling back. Gonna hit the Reaper pull back. I mean, we lost one, we got a drone. I think it's time we just say there's not much more we can do. Link speed will be done shortly, so you don't want to play that risk. As Reynor gets a few Lings on the map and will take his own map control then for the foreseeable future. As the 1-1 upgrades and that stim pack building about as well, so we continue to get all of that coming through just for the moment. Again, a couple of Queens, OVs, drones all building by, the Orbital Command, Marines and the SCVs coming up as well. You have the 1-1 and the stim pack building from Percival, so he's on his way to a good place. What are we expecting out of Percival? I mean, Percival's kind of an interesting one, because he's not someone that I think, I don't think he's a Terran player that necessarily relies on the 8 racks and the super aggressive plays or anything along those lines. I don't feel like he needs to rely on those things for this matchup. I feel like he can play a solid longer game. The problem is, do you want to play a solid longer game against someone like Reynor, who's just an absolute beast, especially later in the game? In a mechanical matchup like TVZ, it feels like you're just challenging yourself to a losing battle. So I do wonder then what kind of pathway we take as Percival. TVZ is such a difficult matchup to be the underdog in. And like I say, Percival's been good lately. He beat Solar 2-0 in the WardiTV Mondays last week. Solar came fresh off the win in 59. Percival then beat him in 60 in the quarterfinals. So absolutely has the level of TVZ to kind of challenge some of these top guys, but I can't imagine it's in the super straight up ways, because players like Solar, players like Reynor are just so good mechanically. And then you open like this so far as Percival, and I'm left kind of, like I say, just wondering, then what are we going to do? When is it going to get interesting or exciting, or not necessarily exciting per se? I think it's exciting anyway. It's just, when do you make the play that's going to show us your road to victory? Like, what is the idea of that, basically, is what we're asking. Armory finishing up, barracks still coming through. Medevacs, Marines, and depots building up. A few SCVs as well. Combat shields still in production. Sailing speed is on the way out as well. A couple of evolution chambers still building by. Peeling off over to the right-hand side. Just going to sit in front of that hatchery for a little bit of time. Again, the 2-2 and the combat shields all coming up. A few additional SCVs on the way. Marines still producing. And those melee upgrades and that Baneling speed all coming by right now. A few additional Banes coming up. Lings and the Overlords coming up as well. So, got a good amount of that underway for the moment. Marines is going to take a chance to step through. The couple of Reapers getting some shots off also. Clean up a little bit of creep, which is never a bad thing. Reynor with his burrow on the way, so you might see some fun burrowed Banelings in this game as well. No Baneling speed just yet. It's moments away from being done. The Marines will fight for a couple of moments. Lift up the majority of the Marines and escape away after some pretty, fine value is found, so not bad for Percival. The right ideas, kind of taking trades where you can, not getting overcommitted if you don't have to. Those kind of things are going to keep you on the right track generally in this matchup. Surrounded Banelings wolfing in. Queen's going to take the chance to inject to the top of the map. The upgrade is still coming through. The 2-2 coming about from Percival as well. Back to the Marines still building. The Marines step forward. The Widowmine going to try and burrow. Then Boom! Actually, kind of dead center onto a lot of that Ling Bane. Did very well for itself there, so not a bad little Widowmine connection. Percival resource loss so far, 650 to 1692, so has opened himself up a good efficient set of trades thus far. Did a good job of letting the Widowmines kind of only hit the Lings, pulling back nicely with the Bioforce as well. Good solid control so far as he continues to put the pressure on and now dives on that right side, gets a couple of cancels already, spine and a spore. Stack defense not allowed to be kind of brought up, and again, just utilizing these drops well. Getting a fair bit done with fairly little so far, right, is the main thing, right? Like, you're not kind of overcommitting to these drops. Still getting some value out. Very reasonable across the board, I would say. Marines and the Mines take another chance to step forward. We're just going to see the Marines again, just going to have to lift up the medevacs. Percival is indeed paying attention as he should be, and doesn't let anything crazy happen with that one. Three on the way through. Again, a little bit of everything else is still on the way up. The Hydras, the Lings, the drones coming through. A few drones going down. As Reynor is going to have this base taken out. So Percival, again, very systematic in his approach. And just adding on a fourth base, just like he's just playing a very normal macro game with just good harassment, solid trades thus far. Again, my only issue is you're playing against freaking Reynor. And it just feels like as long as this game goes on, it's just so hard to kind of put to the back of your mind that Reynor is the opponent for Percival, and that is not going to, at some point, become a bigger issue. Like, Percival, like I say, playing great, but you know Reynor is going to be so good, so quick, so tough to force into a mistake. Like I say, it's been a fantastic start from Percival. I just got to keep us aware of the fact that Reynor's on the other side, and he's not going to let, games be won easily for the Terran player. A couple of forward Banelings on the ramp there. Does get a connection, so Reynor showing his speed, noticing what's going on. Behind all of this Ling Bane, Hydras and now Lurkers are going to be on the way through, so stepping into the next phase of the game himself, not kind of just going pure Ling Bane Hydra or anything. We'll get to some Lurkers, look to try and force out Ghosts. Once you force Ghosts into ZvT, what you can typically do is you can pull away from kind of Lurker production and then just go back into Ling Bane Hydra, maybe some Vipers or so. And it's actually very good at kind of fighting ghost-heavy armies because the Banelings, especially nowadays, trade pretty well against those ghosts, so things to think on. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we're running through Widow Mines to play the chase as well, and so we are seeing a couple more mines getting some kills. Supply is still fine for Percival. Again, we look at resources lost, 9.6 to 5.8k. Reynor's a 5-base Zerg, yeah, but we're a very comfortable 4-base Terran player, so I think we're in a very okay spot at the moment. Feeling pretty reasonable about things right now. Hive is building up, finishing very shortly. Once Rock's getting knocked down, we'll just see the Marines still set forward, the Marauders as well. Getting involved over there, a couple of Widow Mines still aiming at some of those Banelings. And we're seeing the Hydras getting jumped on, the Banes are still getting picked off. The rest of this army continues through, and we are going to see the Hydras still trying to chase the rest of that Bio army down. Continue to try and hunt, +2 missiles, +2 melee. As Reynor again forces Percival into a retreat, only for Percival to regroup and rebound. A couple of burrowed infestors now start lingering around the map, and that's going to become a challenge as well here for Percival. Keep track of those, find them if you can, scan them down and remove them from the game if at all possible. Would be a major step towards success for you, but there is the fungal, and then the Widow Mines are going to friendly fire. Oh no, the medevacs are getting melted. And there is the one fight that goes very well for Reynor. It was the fungals. I actually thought he was going to get away because he got the lift off before the fungals, but the medevacs just all end up going down, and that obviously is absolutely brutal. And that's going to be Reynor very happy with this trade. Finally, a bit of a supply lead for Reynor. A lot of the time, I'm so used to seeing the supply tabs looking kind of even after these fights. Resources lost, still about a 5k difference, but yeah, Reynor taking a fantastic battle there, helping out wonderfully. Infestor, Hydras, a few Zerglings all on the way through. The +2 missiles and melee still building up as well. A couple missile turrets and those refineries all coming about. The scan goes down, a couple grenade, Widow Mine shots. Hitting some Zerglings, we don't have too much in the top right here from Percival. Probably just has to lift and get out. Oh, and then he loses that medevac as well. He played a really solid first 11 minutes of this game. And then again, you're just playing against Reynor, and that's why you've just got to keep saying, it's Reynor, right? It might sound like lazy commentary, but like, it's Reynor. Like, he's going to create opportunities for himself, and that's exactly what he did. As long as he's still, you know, within the game, and he was absolutely within this game. Like, he was not in a bad spot in the slightest. Like, yeah, Percival was trading well, but Reynor was in a very playable position. As long as that was the case, it was always going to be, to me, a matter of time, and a big upset if that never came around, you know? I'm not saying that this game is lost either yet from Percival, but it's definitely now feeling a bit more, as you might, you know, like you might kind of expect a Reynor-Percival game to feel, which is where Reynor was feeling very confident, feeling pretty good. Has a nice scan, gets rid of the Infestor, a couple snipes with some Hydras as well. Percival pushing back, and Reynor goes into another round of Banelings, 10 of them being added on for the moment. The Lings coming through, the Infestor coming up. +3 missiles and Carapace on the way as well. Those mines going off, the libs are setting up, and the ghosts and the ship weapons coming through too. Again, Hydras and the Infestor still coming around, just going to be seeing the +3 missiles, the +3 Carapace all coming by. And drop another command center in at the front right there, as you're all going to be seeing those ghosts. Going to find some snipers. The Nidus gets up in the natural. I was trying to wonder if we could maybe defend this going up because he was getting a lot of the lurkers, but he lost a lot of SCVs. He's already lost some ghosts. That's a nice fungal as well. And we're going to try and capitalize on it. Ling Bane taking a chance to run straight through. The Liberators going to try and hold their own in that moment. Percival again overrun a little bit, and again eventually this game just becoming Reynor swarming. Again, gave a lot of credit to Percival, gotta give a lot of credit to Reynor. He did a lot of good things. He took a lot of good defenses, he set himself up with a lot of different tools to take advantage. You know, Burrowed Banelings were used effectively, the Burrowed Infestors were used well. He kind of teched very smoothly in towards the Lurkers, had those as an option and an opportunity. He immediately went toward Nidus harassment. The list goes on. You know, if you're writing a textbook game of kind of how to play ZvT, and you get to the chapter on, you know, ways to kind of distract and disrupt the Terran play, we really hit all of them, apart from maybe kind of like big run-bys. And honestly, Percival was pretty well defended against run-bys throughout, so Reynor choosing not to really look for kind of a lot of those early. It's the only thing that was really missing from what has been, just like I say, a very solid showing on ZvT against what was, like I say, a very solid showing of TVZ up until about that 12-minute mark, where Reynor did just kind of overpower a little bit. Those few ghosts are getting caught. That's not pretty. The Banes rolling through, trying to catch them. The Planetary Fortress will get rid of those Banes. The ghosts live, but the Planetary will fall. And now the Hydra say, you do not live. We're going to dive on in, lunging forward to take the trade. Reynor just taking that aggressive option and diving straight through to make use of it. Hatchery in the bottom, yeah, going down. That gold base denied, so what? Reynor still sits at a solid 6-base Zerg. And yeah, it's a 4-base Terran player, but the way that these trades are going, the base count is not going to be what determines this. As long as Reynor's got money, which he does because he's got 6 bases, he is going to be A-OK. Water mines. Just producing through. Seeing nice coming up in the main. Gonna see a couple of ghosts cloaking, and yeah, Reynor realized he doesn't have detection, so a couple snipes, one lurker down. That part's a good defense from Percival, but again, you're almost 100 supply down now. That sort of level of those sort of numbers don't again add up in your favor typically as time passes you by. Hansen has to pull away. A couple of snipes going through towards the Hydra. The Baneling goes down as well. The Infester scanned and found. Nice scan from Percival. Again, good to catch that earlier rather than later. There's another Infester there that was, yeah, walking into range as the scan disappeared, so that was an easy spot as well. Good catch from Percival there too. Continue to do the right things to give himself a shot, trying to establish the 5th base. That's going to be the real challenge, because it's in more open space as well. Somewhere you can much more easily run into as the Zerg. Just a more engageable position in general, and that base I don't think is necessarily long for this world. There's still a good ghost count. Like I say, nowadays the Banelings are a little bit better against them if they can close the distance. I'd say typically is a fairly likely scenario. Just gonna try and take some fights. Snipe, snipe, snipe. A few more Hydras going down already. +3 melee coming through. Ling Hydra all on the way. Got a couple lips coming across, sieging up. The Workers are gonna move over to the side to just try and get out of there for a moment. The medevac still setting up. 11 SCVs going down currently. And it really feels like we are just a matter of time away from Reynor winning through. I mean, he's going to get rid of the 5th base this time, I think. Going to take a dive onto that. So that will be falling. The +3 melee upgrade coming about. Ling Hydra still producing through. Couple more Infestors building up. Again, the +3 melee upgrade going to be a part of this as well, so continue to build into that also. Command center coming up on the side of Percival, as you can see a few additional SCVs on the way out. 16 workers died in that previous attack, and again, that's what remains unsustainable. Like, you're not in a position as Percival to be losing and replacing workers. You need to be replacing army. And losing workers means you're going to have a double down effect of not being able to replace army, because A, you got to build new SCVs, and B, you're not mining. In case we had to spell it out for you. This time, the little flank from the right-hand side might be enough to catch a lot of those ghosts. GG gets called. Reynor will take game 1. 20 minutes though. Tyto Citadel. Good effort from Percival. Like I say, I like. In the top left, up 1-0. Our blue Zerg player here is going to be Reynor. We do have the treat of watching a bunch of Reynor games back-to-back today. It'll be Reynor versus Zaun and Reynor versus Nightmare after this, in case you didn't hear earlier. away we go. See what we can get up to early on in another round of ZvT. Like I say, I liked what Percival did last time. See if we can get more of it going. Hatchgasm pool coming up, and drone on the way. Let me just get this rolling. Hatch going into place, orbital and the Reaper coming up. And we get that moving into position right now. So here we go, and looking to see what sort of action may be in store for us, and a little bit of Reaper gameplay. It was just a little, I lost my words. It's going to be a single barracks to start us off this time, though. Gonna see the couple of queens, drones, all coming about. Couple of command centers building up as well, so a lot of that on the way through. Factory is about to finish. SCV and the reactor coming through as well. It's just bringing a lot of that up and rolling for the early stages. So yeah, a couple of queens coming over. We just have ourselves the Overlord and the hatchery building through for now. So getting that all on the way up. Starboard on the way. Command center building by. Yeah, grenade coming into position as well. Marine just going us through, a couple shots come out, drones in the hatch coming up, starport in the command center building. Like I say, Percival, what do we do here to try and achieve the same thing as last time, which is at the very least a very solid early game, right? If nothing else. We have the Rotron coming up, so it's going to be a very different kind of game from Reynor. I mean, he's got all the gas as well, so he's just going to get aggressive this game. Now, this might work a bit for Percival still, because he's going into the Banshee, so at the very least he will have a bit of a natural defense against this. Again, Roach is building up. Queen's on the way through, the couple of Evo chambers coming into play. This drone's still producing guys. Again, we have the Banshee and the Hellions coming up, the Cloaking on the way through. SCV is producing, Tech Lab building. A few different bits and pieces on the way up for the moment. Orbital lifts. Factory going to move to a reactor. The orbital going to relocate down to the low ground. And a couple of barracks, SCVs, and Banshee all on the way through. That lair still producing as well. Roach is going to be there. Hellions getting pushed the other way. Yeah, those few spore crawlers still coming up. So the spores coming through, the drones and the links coming by, the queen in production. I see the roaches and the queens is going to be able to jump onto the Hellions, so jump onto that. We do have ourselves the extra drones coming about, the lad and the queen coming up, spores in production as well. Engineering bay in the barracks still building by for the moment as we just have the 1-1 upgrades and the stim back coming through. The queens trying to get in toward the Banshee, and the Hellions going to be chased around a little bit as well. Queens with a good defense at the front, but yeah, at the end of the day, these roaches never got aggressive, and so Reynor will cut them up and can still maybe make use of them at some point. Getting the carapace upgrade leaves them open to kind of transitioning through toward Ling Bane in the future, which would not be too surprising of a switch. Roach Ravager into Ling Bane is a fairly valuable composition in the TVZ, so definitely one thing you can kind of play for here. Very solid Roach early to mid game, and then kind of flatten the later stages of the mid game out into the, like I say, the Banes and so on. Gets the Baneling Nest now. We'll still need to get link speed, and as we have those Banshees, actually getting some drones. They're going to find 8 workers over on the right-hand side, so able to get a bit of damage. Infestation pit coming up as well. We got a bunch more workers here. Damage continues to be done, so just adding up for the moment. That's not bad at all. 11 drones go down, and all of a sudden Percival is on a supply lead here in game 2. Best of 3. And just get straight in toward the hatch, so get some damage done on that already. Again, Link's coming up, Carapace upgrading the Link speed coming over as well. Again, Banshees with a little bit more value for the moment. You're seeing that Hive coming through. Again, +1/+1 upgrades coming about, Medivacs and Marines all on the way over. Again, the Armory is going to be coming through to the factory, not far from being done. Marines on the right side going to start simming through. A couple of tanks are going to set up as well. You see the couple of Queens gathering about. This hatchery is going to fall instantly, so there goes the 4th base. He's got underneath. Overlord will go down. You see the rest of the Lings coming back over. Overseer going down as well. A couple of Queens still getting picked away at. Again, 2-2 upgrades, drilling floors coming around, the combat shield building as well. So just getting all of that up and rolling. Means the Medivacs will regather here. Tank sieging, setting up to go toward the natural expansion. And Percival going to take advantage of this supply lead he's found from the economic damage delta. Start trying to trade nicely. Jumping up to this high ground. Links don't have a melee upgrade yet as well, keep that in mind. And yeah, running into that position does not feel great when the tank will support from the low ground as well. So a pretty rough position for the moment. A couple battles trying to land, the Marines taking some damage. I think Roach Ravager in general there still joining up, but a few Marines will unload back to the low ground now. Marines on the left side going to get after that hatchery. It will go down. A few Marines can maybe load up here. I mean, they're just standing and fighting. It does mean in the end we're going to lose this tank, but we actually got a few units still killed. Resources lost 1.8 to 3.8k. So very efficient out of Percival. I mean, probably expected so far with a good economic start and having a lot of units to throw at his opponent so far, and he's been throwing them nicely. They've been landing well. It's 2+1 building through, Roach speed building up. Ultra Cavern is going to come in as well. Parasite Bomb going to go down on the Medivac. Just going to take a few more shots. Just going to get rid of the hatcher on the side. Just going to be seeing the roaches. The battle's coming down. Roaches and Ravagers going to try and hold on. The Marines stepping in. A couple of the Banelings going down as well. Roach Ravager trading through. A little bit of a fight to push this back. Can we actually push Percival away? Reynor could do with a little bit of peace and quiet. Get that 4th base up and running. Lacking that is going to be an issue as this game goes on. The accidental Swarm Horse is on the way. Ultra still building through. Titan's plane coming up. Roach speed is finishing finally as well for those poor roaches. There goes the 4th base again. Nice stuff so far. And it's going to be seeing the rest that's coming about. Once more over to the other side. Marine's going to keep on trading. I mean, this just gets worse and worse here for Reynor, not recovering at all just yet. Lines, bio units gathering up, tank gathering through. I was still trading these ultras, trying to get around. He's going to get over. A couple of units going down. Percival up against those ultras now. How well can he deal with some of this late attack? He's done a great job reducing Reynor to 3 bases this whole game. The 4th base now gets up to that left side. The Ghost here should give you the opportunity to take some better fights. It's going to be pushing around. The Ultraling Vein running through. The Roach Ravage does not feel great at the moment. General Glance coming by. That +2 melee upgrade. Overlord speed building into place. And back in the top is probably going to go down, so that at least gets cleaned up. Reynor is maxed out. He's been playing from a difficult position all game. But this is why Reynor is one of the best players in the world, because in difficult positions, he finds a way to win. If not win right off, then at least survive for now and extend the game to a point where he might find the win. Take this fight over here, and it is going to be a pretty decent fight. The Ultras are still chomping on through, so having a good time chasing forward for a couple of moments. And actually still chasing here. How far do you want to chase? Because now we're going to start losing these extra ultras, and then the roaches are going to be kind of out in the open as well. Not ideal. Medivac still trying to lift around and boost around at the same time. Percival has been trying to keep pressure onto that left side 4th base, and again looking for that once more. If he can keep denying the 4th base here, Reynor's going to remain in a very poor position. I mean, for now he is mining from it though, so for now maybe stabilizing a little bit. Going to lose some of these active creep tumors. The Lings run down to try and play a defense on that. Try and get the creep out the front. I love the target fire on those creep tumors, because it really just stops you from getting control of the, down your ramp and into the center, and it keeps so much freedom for the Terran out into the middle of the map here currently. So love that. On the right side, we're forced into a lift now. That Widow Mine was great as well. Denied the attempted hatchery, as Reynor wants to get a replacement 4th available. So preemptively build another base, because right now, yes, it's going to act as a 5th, but I think it's more likely it becomes a replacement 4th, because I'm still not convinced he's going to hold on to that left-hand side with the pressure that Percival keeps on trying to apply. Plenty of ghosts available here, just needs to try and find the right fight where those ghosts can get involved. Infestors are popping soon, that's going to make life a little bit trickier, with those fungals available as well. We already have one flanking infestor just running on that right-hand side, looking to get a catch. Does hit the Marines. What a beautiful infestor placement. No! Fungal on the medevacs. They didn't retreat away. We are going to start getting out of here. One more fungal, though. I was mostly worried about that medevac. That's super low HP. It had a lot of the ghosts inside. That was a nice catch from Reynor, and Percival actually had a getaway clause there, and he didn't quite manage to make the most of it. Go's going to line up some snipes again, but going to be forced to kite back again. Reynor needs incredible trades right now against a 5-base Terran player. Percival again has taken the advantage given to him in this game and really ran with it. He's really pulled it for everything it's worth. And yeah, now still feeling pretty cozy. I mean, Reynor is still just spamming up ultras and just doing what he can. Liberator over here gets a few drones. Now this base is not even mining right now. Reynor only on 62 drones in a very troubling place when you stop and look at it. Definitely in a bit of a rough scenario thus far. Ultra Infestor coming about. Banes and a few more Zerglings coming around as well. We still see the Bio stepping through. The couple of Liberators will begin to siege. More snipes. The Ultra's taking damage. Gonna get over to the left-hand side. Some of these Ravages going down as well. A bit more cleanup being made. The Infestor coming around the backside. It's gonna pop up, drop a fungal on a few of these ghosts. Stop some of the snipes at least from happening. Give the Ultras a chance to actually make some distance closing in on this. The Liberators are just going huge now instead though, and we don't get the biles we need to get rid of that first Lib, so it lives. And the Libs are going to get into an even more oppressive position here. Reynor down to 120 supply versus the 160. It's another great fungal growth that's going to give you some hope as Reynor. And the Ghost taking Widow Mine damage as well is not ideal, but then the Ultras died to the Liberators. The Infestors are out of energy, and if we have anything left here as Percival to press forward with, this game is going to be coming to a very rocking close very soon. Percival takes game 2, and we're tied 1-1 in the best of 3. Percival going to bring Reynor to a third. Let's see what we get on a deciding map of this series. Gotta say, if nothing else, even if he loses this series, I'm impressed with how strongly our Terran players played. Percival has been popping off, honestly. He's been really fun to watch. Playing some great games thus far. Taking on Reynor, the Blue Zerg, in the top left corner of 10,000 feet. See if we can have a little bit more of a comfortable game here. Try and close out this series. His first of 3 that he'll play today. He looks to try and secure one of the top spots in the Korean Royale playoffs. Or in this Group A, which then does naturally lead you to the Korean Royale playoffs as well. Percival will go under a different name? Nope, he is Percival. Gas pool coming through. Get set for a couple of moments here. Take a little bit of time. Reaping the command center coming up. The orbital coming online. Let me just have a peaceful little opening. Nothing too crazy early. Drone going to move across that right side for the 3rd hatchery. And it is just the single Reaper kind of setup again from Percival, so kind of akin to what we saw in Game 2. So every couple of moments, guys, early in this game, and we'll watch this Reaper harass. Do consider, if you're enjoying the WardiTV Korean Royale, supporting the WardiTV tournaments. These tournaments do not happen without your support. Obviously, there's all the different ways to support the stream, and all of them, indirectly help the tournament one way or another, whether that's subscribing or even just following or watching the ads when you're tuning into the stream and everything, etc., or interacting with our sponsors. But one of the main ways is, of course, the Patreon page, patreon.com/WardiTV. 100% of every single pledge on Patreon goes directly into tournament prize pools, just like this tournament, the Korean Royale. So if you're enjoying what you're seeing and you want to specifically support tournament prize pools, check out the patreon.com/WardiTV. We even cover the transaction fees, so 100% of anything you pledge, like I say, will end up in the pockets of the players and help us to have more StarCraft 2 tournament prize money to give out over the course of the year. So check that out. And thank you for listening to The Sellout. 1 minute or so here on 10,000 feet. As we are chilling, waiting for our Game 3 to really get underway, to be honest. Links be coming through, the couple of Hellions will build. Again, peaceful few moments at the moment. And today's a day of big games, man. A day of big games. Long action, best of 3s, going the distance. Love to see it. Some longer maps as well. Hoping that continues into the ZvP after this as well. Would be really awesome if it did. Here in the couple of Hellions turning around, the Queens are there. Just gonna see those going the other way. And will be on its way through. And we do see the Banshee's going to be the choice once again from Percival. They did well in the last game. This game, I'm not going to bother with Roaches as Reynor, so might be off to a little bit of a better start from the very get-go as well. Just not going to play into something that got denied, or that gets denied super quickly. As we do have the Hellions and the Reaper just going to come through. The Queen's going to be there. Little grenade goes down. The Queens have to fall back for the moment. Banshee continuing to hit, and that hatch has taken quite a bit of damage, so some shots coming through. Stimming the cloaking coming up, engineering bays in the barracks building as well. The reactor is on the way through as we just have hatch, drones, lings, overseers, queen. A little bit of everything coming online for the moment. And yeah, I think if nothing else, it's going to be a much smoother opening from Reynor. Like I say, not going to stop off on the roaches that are unnecessary. And the Banshees just fly into the Queen, so they take a bunch of early damage, and that's going to negate how much sticking around they can do and how much kind of hovering at the edge of mineral lines they can find for themselves. So that's going to reduce their damage output, no doubt. It's a great little catch. As now these Lings looking for a good catch on the Hellions as well, and Reynor off to a much more fiery start in this game at number 3 than what he had in Game 1 and Game 2 of this series. So yeah, really nice. Shutting this Hellion count down where it takes away so much of that map control of the Terran. Yeah, a couple of Hellions survive, but 2 Hellions can't even kill creep tumors quickly, which is going to net you into, overall a pretty rough position, because the Queen's going to get rid of both the Banshees. What a defense this time around from Reynor, as Percival just finds himself in trouble and nothing lines up for him like it did in that previous map. And honestly, even in Game 1, where in Game 1 he was very good at kind of maneuvering around and extending the play and, kind of finding opportunities for himself. And in Game 2, he kept himself in that Game 1 a long time. Game 2, he took, hold of the reins and he really went for it, and he took a lead and kept it. In this Game 3, like I say, it's not game-ending damage, but it's going to give Reynor the most solid foundation possible to build off of. Medevacs go up the right side, a couple of Marines unloading. The Zergling will take a couple of shots of damage. Some Banes are going to gather over. Queens are going to be right there. It's going to take a chance to go in after the set of rocks over here as well. Just going to pick through those. Once again, the melee upgrade's still coming up. The burrow is going to be done very shortly. It's about halfway at the moment. The Marines will load into the Medevacs. Boosting back for now, pulling away down the right-hand side and getting out of there for now. So we escape out of there. And again, the 1-1 upgrades all coming up. The combat shield still building on in. White Terrans don't use 1 Raven, 1 Banshee to clear creep instead of 2 Banshees to try and hunt a few probes near Spore. Because hunting for multiple drones near Spores with 2 Banshees is very effective. Whereas if you have 1 Banshee, all you can really do is very minimal creep clearance. And even then, creep is very easily held when you only have 1 Banshee and 1 Raven, because the Queens have nothing to be afraid of stepping forward and pushing you back. So the reality is you just don't get a lot done. And it's just not really worth it. I mean, is a Raven nice to have? Yeah, but it's kind of awkward to use later in the game. It's it's kind of slow moving. It gets in the way of your kind of, ability hotkeys. So yeah, it just doesn't really work very well, is what it comes down to. 2 Banshees harassing mineral lines have so much potential, as we saw in the last game, and even when they're prepared for Banshees, you can still do well with them. As Percival here trying to make this fight happen, by the way. Reynor looking for the engagement from 2 sides to make this work, and that is not quite it. His army supply is struggling. This is an 8 racks from Percival, and this power up is kind of looking good for him so far. I mean, Reynor is likely to be behind on army supply during this. Moves like this, catching the siege tank unsieged in the back with the Lings, those sort of trades are the ones that are going to be really frustrating for Percival, because those are the kind of trades where it's oh man, if I just had that tank with the rest of my army, it'd feel so much better. Imagine an extra tank firing at these Banelings, clearing them up a little bit more quickly and giving you a bit more freedom as Percival to kind of stay in this fight without just being chased away and shut down. Would feel very, very different and very, very good in comparison to what we just saw there, which was not ideal to say the least, as now have Hydras popping out too. I feel like this defense is getting more and more comfortable from Reynor as the seconds pass by. The Hydras are going to be a good backline with the Lingbane still in good numbers at the front as well. Upgrades are going to favor Percival at some point, but right now it's dead even. As we make this dive forward and the Hydra Queen together, maybe even get some damage out onto the Medevacs, which would be lovely. Try and knock those units down, get rid of some of the longevity of this drop simply by removing the healing available and stopping them from regenerating energy by pulling them off. That said, we still actually have a good amount of Marines on the ground, so we're going to need enough to make sure that these go down right here. The Hydras need to do their thing. As the Lings got in front to do some tanking, the Hydras now stepping into siege tank range is not fun either. It's a real fine line that we're dancing on at the moment. If you go too far one way, you're going to fall off and crumble. As the Zerglings, though, might break through to the tank. No, still no. Actually, that means it's going to go down. Reynor has other bases, so he's not in a rush to kind of keep this alive. He did fight here, but he probably didn't mind the scrappiness, knowing that he never had to full commit into the defense, because at any point he could kind of pull away to the other bases that he owns. Now, the central base is not easy to keep alive. The tanks can reach mineral lines from the other side. The one on the far left should be much easier, and that's why he does send the majority of his drones over to. So he will start mining the far left, and that does force a big relocation from Percival. Big difference on that far left side. Look at the creep spread. It's right out in front. So at the very least, for a moment or two, you have some natural defense in position because your creep is out the front of this base. That was not true on the right-hand side of the map. And that might be just one of the things that Reynor can kind of latch onto to find himself the defense against this 8 racks eventually. There's a 4th base coming up from Percival, so he did get the 4th command center started, maybe feeling like he's done enough that he can actually just get away with an attempted transition at this stage is not a bad idea. Do not hate it. Marine still going in after the hatch. Just going to have ourselves the factory still coming about. The Liberators are going to reposition themselves. And the Marines continue to move through as we continue to settle in. Just going to see the Lings and the Hive coming by. Again, Hydra Speed continue to come up. A lot of the Lings are producing through. The Ghost Academy coming online with the Siege Tank and the Marines still building. These Marines are going to fight against a little bit of that Lingbane Hydra. The Hydra's getting underneath. The Liberators will take some shots. Going to be seen. I mean, this hatch going down, that's fine as long as we have the left side hatchery. We're actually going to try and, I mean, retake the right side as well. So we're actually going to maintain or re-maintain or attempt to retake, I guess, the top right presence of the map. And now a Ling run by, something we've not seen a lot of from Reynor in this game. Trying an actual kind of full-on run by. He's going to hit this mineral line. There's a few units were starting to come out from the natural wall off. Gets himself about 10 SCVs. A lot of the Lings get out alive as well. And at the same time, pushing forward over here, Bailey's crashing into the siege tanks. I don't really love, because that feels as though you're going to take away the threat against the Marines. I just don't think that that was worth it for Reynor. Would have rather him just sat back and waited for the Terran to attack onto his creep spread again. Because now he does come in from the other side. If that kind of, wraparound was there immediately, this might have gone a whole lot better. Instead of all the Banes being given up and not really going anywhere for themselves. Tank siege is up, we push it a little further forward. We will see the couple of Vipers, Hydras, and Banes coming through. Additional Lings on the way over. Three upgrades in production as well right now. So we continue to bring that all online. And these Banes break through. The supply is still very close. Having a 4th base up behind this puts a lot more pressure on the Zerg player, where it's like, well, hey, like I'm in a pretty good spot here, so I don't know about you. And also, Percival has 3-3 against 2-2. Now, Hive is ready from Reynor, but he does not have the spare cash to spend on melee upgrades right now. So, the upgrade advantage from Percival is going to keep him in a very good position. And he's going to allow him to take a lot of very good trades with these Marines over the next little while. You see that this hatchery is already getting very low. Reynor's launching Lings down the right side of the map again, where there is a bunch of units heading his way. So, good prediction of that. Those Lings going to get overwhelmed, though, and so Reynor pulling them back, maybe even a second or two too late. Liberals are going to siege up there. There's actually not much for them to do. That hatchery is so low. It's so tempting just to dive for it. We're going to try and be responsible. Blind Cloud helping to push us back. And the tank target fire the Banelings? No, because it's blind clouded as well. Greens will stand and fight. That's where 3-3 will go great. Dive on the right side. Reynor with a chance to get through. Some of the Banelings trying to connect in. We have a few units left from Percival. Probably not enough to push forward with. And Reynor pushes back left and right side alike. Both positions denied. What a storyline that is turning into. What a defense from Reynor. Just clutching both sides of the map. Creep still at an absolute minimum right now. Just going to be seeing the Liberator going for whatever it can at this point in time. Internal glance coming about. The +3 carapace coming over. Ling Bane still producing, so we get a little bit more of that all coming online with the Ghost Marine. Getting us into a better position as Percival. Supplies leveling out, but I really felt like Percival had the momentum there, and I really felt like he was maybe close to breaking through and succeeding. Not quite the case in the end, as Lingbane Hydra now chasing after the medevac. The medevac retreating away. The Pro siege on the right side. The Marines and the medevacs hanging about. Ghosts coming through also. What's up, Scrollich? Thank you so much. 42-month resub on the Prime. I've seen Festus coming out as well. These are the tech units which have helped Reynor so heavily, surviving for as long as he did in that last game, turning game number 1 around to some extent as well. What does he do from here? Where do we go? What sort of move do we make? Like I say, currently just reestablishing some creep. I like the pressure he's applying by expanding as well on that left-hand side, kind of inviting Percival to maybe feel like he needs to do something to deny those bases already. Marines unload from said medevacs, and we just have a look again on the way up. Nidus network coming through. Marines gonna come about, just gonna see the Ling's gonna get jumped on. He's still playing high-sec order tracking on the way too. Actually, can get rid of this base, so Percival makes quick work of that. That will not go badly just yet, as the +3 carapace, +1 missile still coming through. The Hydras get underneath, the Liberator will go down. On the right side, we deny, I think, an Overseer that was trying to get through, maybe looking for some Nidus potential. Do we have Nidus right now? We do, so yeah, denying any possibility of that right away. Command center still coming into play. So gonna get that going. The medevac loading up. A few Marines gonna step through for the moment. Again, the libs still in production. Missile turrets, fusion core, command centers all still building by. The Lingbait and Hydra wants to make a move over. They do have these infestors as well. Gonna really complicate things, especially for these ghosts that want to try and snipe. Obviously, sniping ain't possible when you're Nidus, so gotta try and stay clear of that as best we can. And as we aim for this hatchery again, Funnel goes down, and the Hydras are here. Only one of the two full medevacs got caught, so that was not as bad for Percival as it could have been, but it shows just how quickly danger can arise right now in this TVZ for our Terran, as Reynor gets comfortable with everything else on the way through and looking good for him. Lots of shells are building about. Armor gathering up. A couple of libs coming through. The advanced ballistics coming over. +1 ship weapons and the cloaking coming by. And the upgrades on those EVA chambers getting going as well as the command centers all built into place. Libs are nicely sieged. Missile turrets and center towers coming through. A couple snipes coming in already. Step up, a couple of the creep teamers already dropping down dead. Some nice cleanups right there. Easy peasy for the moment. And you see our +3 melee upgrade coming about, +2 missiles coming by. About 25 additional banelings building right now here from Reynor, so just really powered up. And now the bank account is there as well, 5.5k, 2k. Man, Percival felt like he was a thread away from just snapping the lifeline of Reynor in this game, and just didn't quite manage it. And now, don't get me wrong, Percival is camped out. He's set up. He's sieged up. It's an interesting map because it is a 7-base map, right? So it's very difficult for Reynor to steal a base off the Terran. So it kind of, Percival's kind of playing the right thing for the map, which is sit on 6 bases and just let this go. And that bottom left base is very hard to take. And if you do ever get mined out on the upper right side, then you just camp the left side and mine out that base as well, and you basically just say, hey, Zerg player, you're gonna have to run into me, you're gonna have to be the one to do something about this situation right now, otherwise it's not gonna end well for you. So some things to think on. Is the stream lagging a bit, or is it on your side? It's the it's just the Korean server. I'm not dropping frames or anything, it's just here and there the video is hanging up. It's just that connection to Korea for a couple of moments. Reynor needs to figure out a way to try and break into this Terran army, but I do think it's going to be kind of difficult. I do think we're in a pretty tricksy scenario for this at this point in time. I'm not really sure what we're going to honestly kind of really make work from this point. Ghost's going to step forward. Just going to see the attempted snipes. All those ghosts stacked together is a dream for the banelings in this day and age. We'll load a few up, going to drop them a bit further back. And Reynor loses some Lings there. Instantly going to rebuild Ling Hydra. He's got so much money banked. Resources lost. 9k favorable for the Terran. And that's why Reynor does want to try and mine that bottom left side base. So he's going to start working his way over there. And it just puts a bit of pressure on Percival to pay some attention in that direction. Otherwise, you lose that base mining, and then Reynor really is in a fine spot. But like I say, it should be a very difficult base to really mine from. It's just, if you can mine from it while the Terran's distracted on this right-hand side, brilliant. Any resource you take off that location is going to help you in the long run, because eventually, 10 minutes from now, that will be a Terran base. So push up that right side's been decent. And Lib's going to siege up and try and do a little bit more. Reynor going into the Greater Spy, giving himself a chance to move into the Brood Lords a bit deeper in this game. You don't love the moment where you decide to turn around and run back the other direction because you lose so much more in that process. Still about 11k resource loss difference. Percival just doesn't have the money to instantly remax, which is his perhaps bigger problem right now. Reynor sends all the drones to the bottom left, by the way, so instantly going to mine this bottom left side of the map, and that's going to be huge because, like I say, that's a base now that Percival does not have in comparison, and that should be the kind of base that Percival wants to deny. It's actually an easy base to deny because it's so close to the other bases, but he needs to realize it's going on. Otherwise, the more resources Reynor takes off of that base, the more okay he is overall. Because not only is he mining 8 bases then, his opponent is only ever going to be able to mine 6 if that base fully went to Reynor. So this is a good fight from Percival as well, from Reynor as well, taking a good jump forward to start us off. Percival into a very good initial position. Lots of SCVs going down. This is tough. This might not be recoverable for Percival. He loses too much right here. I mean, he does not have a huge bank account, so rebuilding from scratch is going to be very difficult. That was a lot lost in quick succession, especially 20 SCVs in a game where you're not banked up. You need those 20 SCVs to keep on mining, to keep the income going, so you can replace as much as you need to. Reynor adding on a lurker or so. Just gonna see how many of them he tries to use. There's a lot of anti-lurker stuff in play. Tank, Liberator, Ghost all available, so I'm not sure if you really want a lot of them or if it's just for a little bit of harass, or maybe there's one position you feel like a lurker would be nice in. I'll launch a nuke towards the central base, by the way, so setting up there. And yet Percival's trying to fly a base over here, so he has no idea this base is taken. It's going to be really bad news for him, because if he doesn't realize that that base is taken, yeah, he probably has just underestimated his position. Now the Bane's getting a decent connection again. It's going to be seen the Liberators will hold out. Parasitic bombs on those medevacs, going to get them low. One goes down, but it did empty its cargo at the very least. Percival is just not mining enough to rebuild from these fights. Still about 11k resources lost difference, but that means we're staying in a very stationary position overall. Two more Vipers being added on. The Spellcaster's obviously going a long way for Reynor, helping him out massively this far in the game. Real necessity up until now as the Liberators siege this right-hand side, and they will keep those Zerglings away. Well, Ghost is going to get rid of a few more Lings. Again, the siege tanks and the Ghosts coming up. Going to start nuking the bottom left base. He needs to try and clear this area out. He needs to create some space over here. That nuke will land. Doesn't really do much. Build one of his own poor Marines. And I will deny this location, but if we put attention into the bottom left, does that invite Reynor to kind of change how he plays? Does it mean there's less in the top right-hand side so we can maybe dive in there more aggressively? We send a ton of Lings over here, which, well, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of Lings. Is it okay to trade? Gonna give it a go, find some Ghosts, just gonna run through, get onto those tanks, and we'll probably be very happy. So SimCity is definitely holding them off a little bit, and that is gonna do what it needs to give Percival a continued kind of Raider survival right now. Well, the rest of the Vipers and the Hydras coming back over again, settling on that right side. Lings gathering in the bottom left. 18 Zerglings in production, plus 3 missiles being added. Another scan to the top of the map. The Ghost wanders over around. What are we looking for? Vipers? Oh, that's cute. Snipe. Snipe. 2 Vipers go down. That's a cute play with the Ghosts. It's going to get chased. It's going to die. But we got a couple of Vipers for it, so not a terrible trade. It's walking through enemy lines. Not every day you get that opportunity, but he found it there. And Reynor going to try and retake this base bottom left. It keeps the attention of the Terran in that position. It's kind of what Reynor wants. And eventually you want to be able to mine that base as the Terran player. You don't want to let the Zerg mine too much of it, otherwise you might end up in a little bit too much trouble as well. So something to think on for sure. +3 missiles, +1 flyer attack upgrade coming through. The Overseer in production. Command Center, Sense Tower, missile turrets, and medevacs building by as well. Just going to see another Liberator getting sieged up already. And those Lings going to run into the bottom left side where the CC lifts off immediately. The few Hydras going to run underneath. The Bio going to run straight across. The Command Center taking some damage. Just see our Liberators coming on through as well, trying to see what else they can do. As again, they +3 missiles, +1 flyer attack. Continue to come by. The Zergling's still producing. The Bio will get the hatchery in the bottom left-hand corner as the Lingbane Hydra is stepping through. The Viper's going to get a couple of Blinding Clouds down straight away. I've ducked one of the Liberators. Vipers dying to missile turrets even. We don't really break this position, which is what I don't love for Reynor. Like, you gotta cancel on a building CC, but like, the orbital here lives and we continue to mine, and as long as that's the case, I feel like we're gonna be kind of okay with things. Say, Percival's bank is now rising up, and he is going to make more of an effort to take his 7th base of the game. And because of the map, 7 bases each really kind of brings you to this kind of standoff. Hey, what's up, BGF89? Thank you so much. 11-month resub on the Prime. The Bio regathering together. We settled down here. 1 second, guys. I need to snooze the ads because we are in yet another long game today. 30 minutes about to be reached. So a lot of Lingbane gathering on the far left. The Lings running down the right, going to get after the missile turrets. The rest of the Lingbane Hydra gathering up. Moving about for a moment or two. Going to go in after this missile turret here, and the Liberator and the tank going to try and hold their own for a few moments. Going to see the rest of the Banelings coming forward. The Ghost on the right-hand side will step through as well. Tank turning around. A couple of those Banelings still getting picked away at. 54 Zerglings coming by for now. A lot of Ghosts that just cloak up. Reynor losing a lot of supply, as you kind of would expect to some extent. Yeah, well, this is an issue, right? What if Reynor loses this base? And he doesn't fully mine off of this position. Never mind him fully mining out his 7 base. What if he can't even mine, you know, never mind him mining out 8 base. What if he can't mine out 7? Reynor needs to decide what he's going to rebuild. Does he have lava? Well, he's only got 10 lava. He's a little bit lava starved. Planetary Quarters bottom left. We're going to try and dive to it. Those Zerglings, it is going to be good enough for the kill. Those Lings and the Banes will probably go down, but yeah, it gets rid of the base for the moment. It's going to become an orbital next, which is not exactly ideal. Realistically, you do want a planetary there. You do want the defense that that provides. Maybe if you land an orbital for now and you build a CC next to it and just morph into a planetary, that would be okay. Reynor's resource loss tab is now 16k difference. The last set of trades has been 5k worse off for him in the last 3 or 4 minutes. And that's, like I say, heading in the wrong direction in a game where you're mining the equal base count to the Terran player. And like I say, this base, he's going to give up on it. So he's not even going to mine out his left-hand side. Now, he has mined more of the left than what Percival has of the right. So maybe can he strike the right side and stop this location from being mined? That would be great. Would have been nicer if one of these libs was on top of the tank. A little bit of extra protection. Obviously, there are only really a handful of minerals left there. The gas might be a bigger factor. How much gas have we got left on this location? 500. Honestly, 1700 is not bad. Percival actually on a very good track to mine out that right side, and then he can focus more on the left, which is going to be a more important side of the map anyway, because that's really the only side of the map that Reynor has resources remaining on. So then you're going to be in trouble. By the way, this entire series, Percival is more or less fighting with his tournament life on the line. He's 1-3 in this group. 1-4 is almost a death sentence with solo left to play. Beating Reynor would be an upset that might keep him alive in the Korean Royale and have a shot at the playoffs, which, if he's playing like this, would be an absolute treat to have Percival there, but it definitely would shake up this group in a big way as well. Reynor has out of cash, guys. He's only going to have whatever he's mining at this point in time. There's a little fungal there. Efficient trades like this are going to be important as the Brood Lords make their arrival. Reynor will have some very minor mineral income. Some long distance mining here. We've got about... oh, yikes. We've got like 400 minerals left there. What's the long distance in here? There's about 2,000 or so, 2,500 minerals on the left-hand side. So what we're playing for right now is Reynor. I mean, he's on his last legs in that regard. These Ghosts just make a mistake, stepping too far forward. Percival still has that bottom left base fresh and rich, and that's the benefit of, again, mining equal base counts while trading as well as you have traded. Libera's going to set up. The Ghost looking for some snipes. Not going to bother building Thors, which is maybe an interesting question mark. Reynor is down to one army try and win this game with, and he's long distance mining to try and secure himself the final minerals to have some, you know, semblance of a rebuild a bit available if a big fight does break out. Viper's going to mass siege the ghosts. If they can just start sniping, anything you kill right now is going to be of extreme value. 5 additional Vikings coming up, plus 3 ship weapons, plus 3 vehicle plating. Coming about as well. And the MP goes down, a couple of infestors get caught, the Broodlords are going to step forward. Vikings want to just get forward and get some shots off. Going to eat a parasitic bomb, but we split away kind of nicely. Then eats the... Oh, he actually misses the fungal. That was a dodge in the end. I like what we're trying to do there, though, is Percival put some pressure on, put a little bit of damage out. Two more Vipers on the way through. Just going to be seeing the rest of the bio still being built up. Bank account's not huge, but Reynor will have less mining than Percival. Well, he's actually mining, yeah, a little bit less, but he is at least mining out that left side that is going to get mined out in the end, it seems. Vikings trying to find their shots from afar. The fungal growth does not connect, and the Vikings keep themselves safe. Slowly draining infestors of energy. It's energy that we have to put a lot of reliance on right now as Reynor. He's running out of other resources, so if you're running out of other resources, energy is the resource that comes back again and again, right? And that could be your way to trading well enough to seeing success still in this game. The few Marauders try and dive through, just looking for a trade onto infestors. More infestors on the way from Reynor, who is very gas heavy, so infestors are very gas efficient units, so they're the kind of thing you can get away with making a lot of at this stage. They don't take a lot of minerals, they do take a lot of gas, trying to maximize the resources we have available. And he's still mining gas as well, as we're going to attempt the nuke here. As, uh-oh, how's this going to go? The Broodlords do not find the ghost just yet. The nuke is going to force Reynor to step back a little bit. Nuke is going to land. And yeah, Reynor had to make some space there. The Vikings got a few picks. A few more Corruptors, a few new infestors on the way out. Again, we are mineral starved right now. Even gets the Overseer. Little things that could add up. We actually do still have 3 Overseers in the game, but 3 Overseers is not a lot. When we take a much more aggressive stance with these libs, they are going to be making their way toward that mineral line. We're very close there. We are hitting the workers on the gas at least, so we're going to start denying economy. Fungal does land on the Vikings, going to chain that and look for value there. 2 new Vipers coming up as, again, the Liberators cover the mineral line, and we should, I mean, maybe one Liberator could have sieged a bit more to the left and actually got the mineral line. Because any resources you stop from mining right now is going to be absolutely massive. A little bit of bio stimming through, but he can't hold position because of the infestors. Another fungal coming down. The ghost going to get caught in it. We're going to take a bit of a bigger fight right here. The Vikings trying to hold their own. We do have a lot of Vikings being reproduced. That's where all of Percival's money's been going to. Keeping these Vikings coming into play. Resources lost 71 to 53,000 difference at this point of time. Another nuke coming down. We're at the point where players are not going to be able to remain maxed out, but Percival has 142 to 106 army supply. That's a big deal in this stage of the game. As a Spore Crawler kills a Liberator, another nuke trying to land but doesn't do much. Another one starts to build. Again, it's a great positional unit. We've got a couple of mineral patches here and there that can still be mined as Percival. As we are going to see the snipes going to try and come off. We do not get fungals down on those ghosts initially. Now we do, but the EMPs have come down. The infestors have to step away. The Lingbane Hydra is not ready for the fight. G. Percival is going to take down Reynor. And gets denied Reynor from continuing to look great in this group, because this